fun to get people on and going, we are now live, everybody. This is awesome. So
wow.
Super excited here. We've got Adam Baldwin, who's one of our buyer's agent specialists here. I'm Kelli Lang with RE/MAX Gateway and Corso Carver, Washington. And then we've got Ryan here. Everybody say hi to Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Ryan is a past client of Adam's, and so we wanted to do client testimonials, and Ryan was so kind to join us this afternoon to kind of share a little bit about his experience of working with Adam Baldwin as a buyer's agent. So Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what your hobbies are, and what you do for work?
I'm Ryan O'Keefe. I am a native of Whidbey Island.
Nice.
So a lot of years. I like to fish. I'm big in sports. I love sports. And I recently got a job, but it really hasn't started yet because of the virus.
Crazy. So let's start a little bit with that. I'd be curious to see how COVID-19 kind of affected your purchase. You know, I'm sure there was a lot of ups and downs because you were under contract during that time.
Yeah, it was interesting because I kept waiting to hear back from the place that I was pretty sure was going to hire me until the last second. I said, well, I'm going to make the purchase because things were selling pretty fast. And this particular place hit what I wanted. And so Adam showed me it and we made the offer, even though I really wasn't totally hired yet.
Wow. So were you competing on your offer?
Pardon me?
Were you guys competing on the offer?
Yeah, we were a little bit. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So what did that look like? What kind of tips and advice did Adam give you to win the deal?
He pretty much told me what we needed to do if I wanted to pursue the house. And so I did want to pursue it. And then we went from there and we ended up getting it.
That's so exciting. So I'm assuming this wasn't your first home purchase, or was it a second home purchase?
Let's see. I've had a few. Yeah.
You have. So I guess the question I'd ask you is, how did this experience with Adam differ from maybe experiences in the past with other real estate agents?
I thought this one was by far the best because of how up-to-date Adam kept me throughout the process and what was becoming available on the market. And just our texting was completely spot on.
That's so cool to hear. So it sounds like Adam was a good communicator throughout the process.
Very, very good. Over the top, I thought. Very, very well.
Good.
And it sounds like he has some mad negotiating skills too.
Yeah.
We got the job done.
Yeah, we were competing and going back and forth, and I think we ended up covering some of the sellers' closing costs to make them feel a little more comfortable, and going by their closing date they wanted, and just being very competitive. And we went a little over list price.
So let's talk a little bit about that for a second, because that's what's so cool about learning techniques and strategy on how to negotiate, because in real estate, that's a big portion of our job. So Adam, can you rehash that again? What did you do to help Ryan get the house? You paid for some of the seller's closing costs.
Yeah. So, a lot of times people will ask for closing costs and it's not all that competitive. And even covering your own closing costs can be pretty standard, but when you go in and cover the seller's closing costs, then they aren't worried about the appraisal coming in and having to drop the price for you. So if you're covering their closing costs, that's not really any kind of threat to the list price.
I love that. That's such a great strategy. I'm glad you help your clients out that way, Adam. It's definitely cool to hear. So how did you find Adam? How did you hear about Adam, Ryan?
Well, I was looking at places and had been searching for places for quite a while. And then I knew that this job was going to probably happen. So I wanted to be in a more central location for what my responsibilities were going to be with that job. So I found a listing and I just punched it in and boom, Adam was right there. And it wasn't you guys' real estate at the time that had it listed. And I figured I was getting somebody else from who had it listed.
Nice. So maybe, Adam, you want to touch a little bit about that, what the differences are between like a listing agent and a buyer's agent, just to explain to the general public.
Yeah, so we have like a big online presence, and because of that, we do get a lot of clients that come in through online listings. So like Ryan saw the listing online, and then it recommends some of the top agents in the area, and then you can choose to send your information to them, and then they reach out to you, and then like myself as a buyer's agent, I'll work with people like Ryan who are looking to purchase their home. And you don't always get in contact straight with the listing agent because, like we all know, listing agents' best interest is with the seller. So the buyers need somebody to represent themselves on their behalf. So that's where I come in. I help the buyer get the best bang for their buck and get the best deal. And so, that's where I come in and help him get the house of his dreams.
That's awesome to hear. So, and just so everybody knows, it was purchased in Oak Harbor, and Oak Harbor in this price range. What was the price range roughly, Adam?
Oh, what was this one? It was $275. Is that it? Yeah.
So extremely competitive in that price range. So It's awesome when you have a seasoned agent on your side that helps you negotiate to try to win, which is pretty darn cool. So, so what hurdles did you overcome, Ryan? I'd love to hear about some of your hurdles and during the process and what you guys kind of had to overcome.
I would say just finding the right place that was a good fit for me. And so hurdles, I don't know, it was going to have to feel good to me going in a house and hit me right. Mm-hmm. And we looked at probably 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this one was attractive. It was probably lower maintenance, maybe lower costs for utilities, ease of lifestyle, I'm assuming, some of those things, and centrally located to your job is what it sounded like.
That was mostly what I was really looking for, and something that wouldn't be, where I'm spending all my time out in the yard on my days off, which I've already done.
I love it. Love it. Adam, any hurdles that you can share with us that you guys had to overcome?
Oh, just a little thing of COVID, having that. Sorry about that.
Just busy.
Yeah, just having the COVID thing pop up and tightening things down. We were able to get an inspection in right before inspectors weren't allowed to do inspections anymore, so that was great. It was a pretty much flawless inspection, which I love to see. And then just dealing with people starting to work from home more. Obviously, the job thing for Ryan, having that be put on hold for the COVID, and then trying to figure out how to make a loan work other ways, and working with great lenders. We worked with Scott Frame, and he really helped us through and kind of pulled some strings and made it work very easily and seamlessly. It didn't seem like a big problem. I think some other lenders might have even just dropped it because of what was going on. I know a lot of like online lender type deals are dropping stuff right when that whole COVID thing popped up. So stayed strong during the whole thing and got through it, and small hurdles, but we got over them.
Which that was on Adam's benefit to send me to Scott. I didn't know Scott, and my background with him was 0. So, and I knew I was on a potential getting hired. So not all lenders are going to stick their neck out unless they have confidence in your nice credit score.
Yeah.
Whatever. So that was nice on his behalf to send me that to him.
Yeah. Well, I think most of the time, the best part of the process is getting the keys at the end, right? When it's all said and done. But is there one thing that really stood out besides the communication, or was it just the communication of why you'd recommend Adam and how he made the home buying process easy and smooth?
I just loved how aggressive he was and kept me informed throughout. When I needed him, he was there. When I had any question, he was there. It was immediate. So
that's great. So really, would you recommend? Obviously, I'm assuming you'd recommend him to a family or a friend.
Absolutely, yes, I would. I would recommend him highly. And if I purchase in the future or sell, then he's my guy.
I love it. Love hearing that. So I do have to ask about a fishing story, since everybody here loves to fish. So yeah. Ryan, I got to hear your best fishing tale.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, why not?
I'll give you a picture.
Yeah. Is it this big?
Well, it's a 21-pound steelhead caught off the beach at Lagoon Point, which that's probably my best fish, because of, pulling them up on the beach is not easy, and when they're that big and they're trying to get back out in the bay, that was quite a feat. So I put it on my wall. I had it stuffed, and it's in this house.
Oh, dang. We'd love to see it.
Adam's going to get to see it one of these days when he swings by the neighborhood. Because
so how long was that fish on the line before you nailed it?
About 25 minutes.
Oh, it was a fight then, huh?
It was. It got out in the current, and when they get out in the current, they're going to be tough to get in. Especially, I didn't know how big it was at the time. So
you used to be a commercial smelt fisherman, right?
Definitely was a commercial smelt fisherman most of my life.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Lots of fishing stories then.
It's so lots of fish. 3,000 pounds a couple times. So
a lot. That's crazy.
That's a lot of work, but that was in my blood. So
I love it that we all like to fish. I have a good fishing story too. So right out here off of Allen Island, one day my husband and I, we had a bay liner, a small bay liner, and oh my God, this was probably, 10 years ago or more. And the kids were at school, and so we decided, hey, let's go have a picnic, let's go down the boat and go fishing. And we thought, okay, we're going to fish for halibut. We'd never fished for halibut in our life. Yeah. So the crazy thing was we go out there and we're just sitting, we cracked open a beer, eating our sandwiches, feet dangling off the boat. It was sunny. It was gorgeous out there, had our rods in. Well, eventually got to the time where it was like, hey, we got to pack this up because the kids are going to be off the bus and we got to get home. So crazy thing is I go to pull my pole up. I couldn't even lift it up. And I was like, babe, I got something on here. He's like, you're kidding me. I mean, I didn't feel a bite on nothing. And he's like, you're not freaking joking. So he's trying to reel, and it is like dead weight. So we eventually kind of got it up a little bit closer to the surface, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was probably like 6 feet. It was a big ass halibut.
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime, there were some other boats kind of by us in the San Juans out by Allen Island, and we heard gunshots. And I'm going, what the hell I don't know anything about halibut fishing. Yeah. And I'm going, what are people doing shooting guns out here? I mean, I thought we were all fishing. This is different. Yeah. Well, come to find out, by the time we get this big ass halibut up to the top of the boat, I had to undo all the canopy around because we had to pull it around. We had nothing to get that thing into the boat, nothing to hit it over the head, nothing to harpoon it, and nothing to shoot it with. So the freaking thing, we got it to the surface, broke the line. That was like tragic. Absolutely. I was devastated, but after that, I was like, I'm going to figure out how we kill halibut to get them into the boat.
Wow. Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
It was a heartbreaker, and I've never caught one since, damn it.
Wow.
All right, Adam, I got to hear your fishing story.
Oh, man. I've got hundreds and hundreds of them, but probably the one that strikes hard is I was probably about 8 or 9 years old fishing with my dad, and we were out on the Lake Erie right in front of our house, and we were just fishing for little bass or whatever, trout, and I just had a little tiny trout rod, and he told me to cast in this one spot, and I casted there, and all of a sudden I hooked into one, and it was about a 6-pound bass, which was one of the biggest one I'd ever caught. And we spent about 45 minutes in the lily pads, just chasing it around and cutting lily pads, and finally ended up getting it, and I did get it mounted. It's still on my parents' wall actually right now. So
nice.
Neighborhood, showed all the neighbors.
Right. Yeah,
it was fun.
That is so cool. I love hearing fishing stories. You could listen to them all night by the campfire, right? Well, Ryan, we want to thank you so much for joining us with Team Kelli Lang here. And I'm so glad you had such an awesome experience with Adam. He's been out there selling a ton of homes and helping other clients and friends purchase homes. So we really appreciate your time, and we value you as a client. So thanks again so much for using our team. We're super grateful.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right. Yeah. All right. Any ending words anybody wants to say, or?
When you're in the neighborhood, swing by and I'll show you the fish.
I
love it.
Definitely. Yeah. I just heard fishing opens up May 5th.
I know. Inslee just released it. Yes.
Let the trout stuff go. Good. I knew that. might
Yeah,
be the first
definitely.
Things. So now golf, and we'll be fine.
You'll be
I
set.
think
I love it.
No, we'll see. Hopefully.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome, you guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. And thanks so much for joining us, everybody. I'm really super grateful.
All right.
Thanks, Kelly.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.